Alright guys, a new Pokemon has been revealed in the Pokemon anime, and somehow it's something completely expectable. So I did watch the episode live, but I'm not gonna bore you with the details. This is the new Pokemon here. So going into Pokemon Horizon, when it started, there are a couple things we speculated. Maybe the main character Liko would get the same moment Ash did seeing the Ho-Oh, and essentially she did. And another thought that was going around is whether the anime would be able to hype up Scarlet and Violet's DLC and reveal things before the official hype season did. And it's proving that it is. Essentially, the girl is with the Sprigatito, and when an attack is coming, the shield appears and protects them. And inside the shield, which by the way is a hexagon shield, is this little baby turtle Pokemon. Now, this turtle has no name, no typing or anything, of course, but clearly it looks like some Terrapagus pre-evolution. You can compare all the details, the 4 legs, the little turtle shell, which would grow so much bigger on Terrapagus. The only thing that's different is this tail here, which is long versus Terrapagus's flowing tail. You imagine it eventually turns into the flowing tail. I think that's Terrapagus. Now, you see, for example, in the screenshot that they're inside the shield. It's clearly a hexagonal shield. We've always been having this discussion that Terrapagus doesn't have hexagons and that maybe Terrapagus would have to evolve further to have the hexagons. But if you look at this as like a pre-evolution of Terrapagus, or maybe the first form of Terrapagus, it's clearly able to still wield the hexagons. And this whole shield enclosure, it almost looks like one possible thing Sadantura might have found is literally just a giant crystal ball. The same ball that Heath drew at the bottom of his drawing. So when they say they studied the interlocking hexagonal plates, maybe they didn't actually meet the legendary Pokemon, they just found the ball that it was in and codenamed it something that's 6 letters long. Anyhow, more about this Pokemon, it could be like the Cosmog situation where it actually is its own Pokemon that will evolve into Terrapagus, which maybe could actually fit the 6 letters. Maybe this is the name that fits there. One thought I had going into this episode is if she got the same kind of trance Heath did, where he saw the turtle and then maybe the whole series would be her trying to figure out what the trance was. She got something similar where she met the actual turtle. Now, there are other details of interest in this episode. Like, for example, she gets a pendant from her grandma, which looks awfully like it's when this group tries to steal the pendant from her that this turtle Pokemon protects her and she meets it for a second. This just shows you, man, there's more to that Terrapagus DLC for sure. It's not going to be like the Crown Tundra where it's simple. They're going to get some interesting lore. We're going to learn some stuff about Area Zero. Even the official Twitter account here, Anapoke, has said, "What did Rico and Sprigatito see wrapped in a mysterious light? Look forward to future broadcasts." I see you, Pokemon. And yeah, let me know your thoughts, guys. Make sure you shank that like button. And of course, if I want to give you one idea, it's that maybe her pendant has the smallest form of Terrapagus in it. And so she's actually carrying Terrapagus as she walks around. Maybe in its very smallest form, what Terrapagus is just that tiny Terra like gem. And the more you give it energy or the more you bond with it, it slowly grows into the baby one, then Terrapagus, then maybe something evil like Heath drew here. Maybe you're not supposed to let it grow, but in its most minimal form, it's this or it's independent. So one idea that's cool when talking about this baby turtle is the idea that Terrapagus is eventually supposed to be a bad Pokemon. So imagine if, going off the Atlantis idea, since it's everywhere in the game files, imagine if they found this tiny baby turtle and found its crystals were potent, and the more they used it, the more it slowly evolved and got bigger until it eventually destroyed Atlantis. And now Paldia would be next, starting from whatever Heath did when he went down there 200 years ago. I guess Heath saw this, man. Maybe he has the equivalent of the pendant in game. And then of course, another idea that I don't want to get too much into is the idea that this is the equivalent of the Zygarde cells, where there's a bunch of these around the world and you combine them together to get this Terrapagus. Nah, bro. Unless there's 18 of these guys and you gotta find them all to gather the 18 slots on Terrapagus's back, I don't think that's gonna be the case. And it grows too much like Zygarde. Not only hexagons again, but you split them exactly like the cells again if that's the case. I'll upload my reaction to this episode on my second channel. Hopefully I don't take it down, but I'll see you on the next video. Take care.